The mastermind's move. While the students of Jujutsu High have been bleeding in the colonies to change the rules, the man pulling the strings has finally stepped out of the shadows. For over 1,000 years, Kenjaku, the sorcerer inhabiting the body of Suguru Geto, has waited for this moment. The culling game was never just about points or players. It was a ritual to prepare the world for a forced evolution. Now, with the strongest sorcerers occupied in their respective battles, the barriers of the Star Tomb are vulnerable. The target isn't a student or a curse. It's Master Tengen, the foundation of the Jujutsu world. But standing in his way is a brother who has found his purpose. Choso, the eldest of the death paintings, is ready to wash away his past in the blood of his father. Welcome to episode 10. When the oil of Kenjaku meets the blood of Choso, the explosion will change the fate of humanity. Scene 1. The infiltration of the Star Tomb. The episode opens with a chilling silence inside the sun-drenched gardens of the Star Tomb. Master Tengen, looking more like a tree-like spirit than a human, senses a breach in the barriers. Outside, a familiar figure walks calmly through the high security seals. It's Kenjaku, wearing the monk robes of Geto, looking bored and unimpressed by the defenses. He is confronted by Choso and Yuki Tsukumo, the special grade sorcerer who has been guarding Tengen. Yuki knows that if Kenjaku captures Tengen, he can force a merger between Tengen and the non-sorcerers of Japan, creating a monster that will consume the world. Choso steps forward first. He doesn't just hate Kenjaku for being a villain, he hates him for being the parent who experimented on him and his brothers. "I am the eldest brother," Choso whispers, his face marking glowing with intense red energy. "And I will protect my family." Scene 2, the evolution of blood manipulation. The fight begins with a massive burst of speed. Choso unleashes slicing exorcism, the high-pressure blood blades cutting through the air with a sonic crack. Kenjaku dodges with a grace that is almost insulting. He uses Geto's curse speech through a captured spirit and curse spirit manipulation to swarm Choso with low-level curses. But Choso has grown. He isn't the same fighter who struggled against Yuji in the subway. He uses Supernova, a technique he developed to condense blood into a single point and explode it in a 360-degree radius. Kenjaku is forced to use a high-level cursed spirit as a shield. The animation is visceral, showing the red, metallic shine of the blood against the dark, oily energy of Kenjaku's spirits. Choso is pushing his body to the limit, his heart rate soaring as he forces more and more blood into his attacks. Scene 3. The anti-gravity reveal. Kenjaku decides to stop playing. He realizes that Choso's determination is a threat to his schedule. Just as Choso lands a massive punch reinforced by flowing red scale, Stack, Kenjaku activates a technique that hasn't been seen in centuries. The ground beneath Choso suddenly exerts a crushing force. "You think I only have Geto's techniques?" Kenjaku asks with a cold smile. He reveals his own innate technique, anti-gravity system. By reversing the gravity in a localized area, he pins Choso to the floor with such force that the stone tiles shatter. Choso's internal organs begin to fail under the pressure. Kenjaku mocks him, calling him a failed experiment and a pitiful curse. But Choso, coughing up blood, looks up with eyes that haven't lost their fire. He isn't fighting for himself. He's fighting for the brothers he lost and the brother he still has. Scene 4. Yuki Tsukumo steps in. Just as Kenjaku is about to deliver the finishing blow to Choso, a massive white Shikigami serpent Garuda slams into the ground, breaking the gravity field. Yuki Tsukumo steps onto the battlefield, her motorcycle chick armor and confident aura filling the room. She doesn't use curses, she uses mass. Yuki explains her technique, Star Rage. She can add imaginary mass to herself and her Shikigami without slowing down. She hits Kenjaku with a punch that has the weight of a mountain. The impact is so powerful that it breaks through Kenjaku's reinforced arms and sends him crashing through 3 layers of Tengen's barriers. Kenjaku is genuinely surprised. He didn't expect a special grade to have such a raw, physical counter to his spirits. The fight turns into a high-stakes chess match between 2 of the most knowledgeable sorcerers in history. Scene 5. Womb Profusion. Kenjaku realizes he cannot win a physical brawl against Yuki. He decides to end the game. He performs a hand sign that looks like a distorted flower. Domain expansion. Womb profusion. Unlike most domains, this one has no barrier. It's an open domain, similar to Sukuna's malevolent shrine. A massive pillar of distorted, screaming faces erupts from the ground, radiating a cursed energy so dense it begins to melt the walls of the star tomb. Yuki tries to counter with her own domain, but Kenjaku's is more refined. The sure hit effect of womb profusion begins to strip the mass away from Yuki's body. Choso, seeing Yuki in danger, uses his last bit of strength to fire a piercing blood from behind, distracting Kenjaku for a split second. It's a desperate, frantic scramble for survival. Yuki realizes that to stop Kenjaku, she might have to do the unthinkable, something that will destroy the Star Tomb and everyone in it. Scene 6. The Capture of Tengen. The episode reaches its climax with a series of quick, brutal flashes. Kenjaku manages to bypass Yuki and reaches the center of the shrine. He extends his hand toward Master Tengen, who is trying to maintain the barriers of Japan. Using a specific cursed spirit designed for absorption, Kenjaku begins to pull Tengen's essence into a small black orb. The ritual is complete, Kenjaku whispers. Without Tengen, the barriers of Japan begin to flicker and die. In the distance, we see the curtains over the colony start to dissolve. Choso screams in rage as he is blasted back by a gravity pulse. The final shot is of Kenjaku holding the orb containing Tengen, looking directly into the camera. "Now," he says, his voice overlapping with Suguru Geto's, "Let the world see the new age." The screen fades to black as the sound of a heartbeat. Tengen's heartbeat slows down and stops. The final suspense. The foundation of the world has been stolen. The fate of Yuki and Choso. Can they survive the collapse of the Star Tomb, or has Kenjaku finished them off for good? The merger. Now that Kenjaku has Tengen, how long do the heroes have before Japan is turned into a single massive curse? Gojo's last hope, with Tengen gone, is the key to the prison realm lost forever? If you're terrified of Kenjaku's plan, smash that like button and subscribe. The endgame of Jujutsu Kaisen has officially begun. Press the bell icon for episode 11, where the students regroup for the final desperate mission. Do you think Yuki Tsukumo has a secret weapon left to use? Let us know in the comments. End of episode 10.